Morning, it's Kay. So today, I'm sorry you're looking at my belly and my little counter space here, but what I want to do today is give you some insight on some things that are pleasing to the palate. So you've been doing this low carb, this low sugar, you've been doing good, and you're trying to stay away from sugars, you're seeing desserts, you're seeing things you want to eat, and you just want something sweet. It happens. It happens to me. It's going to happen. It's expected to happen. You don't need to deny yourself anything sweet. You just have to know how to go about getting that sweetness to your palate, that sweet taste in your mouth, that feeling that it's just, okay, I'm not just doing this thing that I can never get a relief of some sugar or something that I something sweet that I want. So I'm going to show you two things that helps me to get through this lifestyle and just makes it a little bit easier. So the first one is the easiest one for me. The easiest one because it's two things that are easy. Like I said, it's easy and it's not going to hurt you. Okay? So it's going to be sugar-free Jello and Cool Whip. That's it. So I just put sugar-free Jello and Cool Whip in a little bowl and eat that. So the Jello, for you people that are counting numbers, right? Jello, everything is pretty much 0. Sugar-free Jello, okay? Cool Whip. Now you can do sugar-free Cool Whip as well. The numbers will actually be better, right? So this has, 2 grams of sugar, 3 grams of carbs. The sugar-free one, of course, is going to be better. So that, my friends, is the easy of the two. Now, the one that I really, really like, and for you chocolate lovers, this is going to be a treat. And this is what I've been telling you about my mug cake, the mug cake that I love so much. If you look online, you'll find a lot of different versions of it, but this is the one that I like and the one that I make and the one that pretty much does it for me. It's fairly easy, and I'm going to attempt to show you how to do it. Okay? So the things you need are butter. Okay, and actually I've already cut the piece that I need, so I'll just pull that out. And like I've told you before, if it's real butter, if you can see that, it's cream, salt, milk. That's it. It's real butter. So we have our piece that we need. You need an egg, just 1 egg. Baking powder. Pure vanilla extract. Some of the harder things. Almond flour. So remember I told you that we can have things with flour, but we have to choose which flours we get. You have to use almond flour for this. The other flour we're going to use is coconut flour. Now, the difference with these flours from the regular ones that we use or we're used to using is that they're not made with the same things that the regular flour is made of. These are made with, of course, this is coconut. This is an organic coconut one. And the ingredients are just that. Organic coconut. For the almond flour, let's see. And if you look at the numbers, if you can see the numbers on there, those numbers are really, really good for us. Those carb numbers, those sugar numbers. Same thing on here. If you want to look at those numbers, you have those carbs and you have your fiber. Remember, you subtract your fiber from your carb. And we're going to need something that's going to be a sweetener for this thing, right? So here we go. Now, I didn't know what this was at first. I had something that I was making that had called for monk fruit. And I went ahead and found this I think it was in Sprouts. And if you see on there, it says like 0 everything, 0, 0, 0. And in the back, look at those numbers. If you can see that. Everything is zeroed out, but those total carbs, we got 4 in there. And this thing is really, really good. It's a good replacement for sugar. It's really granulated, if you can see the texture of it. It's granulated, and it's a really good substitute. Like I say, true to taste. I like how that tastes. And one of the main ingredients that we're going to put in this is Nestle Toll House cocoa. Now, it doesn't have to be Nestle, but you're going to need that cocoa, okay? And you see what it says, 100% pure cocoa. If you look at those numbers, check this out. If you can see that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to use this camera where you can see what I'm actually doing. Everybody says that they want to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to attempt to do that today. So you can, if you need to follow along, you can, okay? But if you couldn't see those, the total carbs on here is 3, and the dietary fiber is 1. You subtract that fiber from those carbs, and you have 3. You have 2, so you do the 3 from the 1, and you have 2, excuse me. And those are your numbers on there. I don't even see your sugar number on here. And to tell you the truth, I'm not much of a chocolate person. Especially dark chocolate, because it tastes a lot like coffee to me, and I don't like coffee. So I tend to cut this a bit. Now, the second or the last thing that I'm going to tell you about, don't necessarily need this, but I use this to cut the chocolate a bit, because like I told you, I don't really like chocolate too much, but so I cut the chocolate a bit to make it almost like a milk chocolate, so to say, and I use whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. You can use any brand. Heavy whipping cream tends to be a good source of fat. This was one of the things I was telling you that you could keep in your supplies. And if you look at the carbs on there, okay, it has 1 carb, has no fiber, but also has no sugar. And that fat is a 5 gram of fat. So you still get your good fats in there. So this could be considered a fat bomb. Okay, this cake that we're doing is a fat bomb. And remember, a fat bomb is one of those things that you've kind of gone through the day and you've done all your good eating, but you probably couldn't find all the fats that you needed, and you need to get those fat numbers up. So this is not only a good dessert, but it also is going to serve as a good fat bomb. All right. So, of course, if this is a mug cake, we need a mug. So, got me a nice mug here to kind of show you what we're going to do. Now, I'm just going to grab a plastic fork. And so that's kind of the stuff we need to get this started. Oh, and I hate to forget to mention that I like to have a little set of measuring tools that I like to use. So these come in this little set. Sometimes the set gets all crazy and pieces get lost, but these are what I like to use and have on hand for when your recipes call for anything. So, you know, it's measuring tool is always going to be good to do this also. So the first thing we're going to do is you need 2 tablespoons of this butter. Okay, and I already have this scored out. So it's 2 tablespoons, and I just cut it to where I already have the 2 tablespoons. Okay. Take that out. Drop that in the cup. Everything is going in the cup. Let me just grab a paper towel. Everything is going to go in this cup, okay? So the thing that's going to make this cake is going to be the microwave. So I want to melt that butter. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds and melt this butter. Be right back. All right, I'm back. And the butter is melted, okay? So next, what we want to do is add in some of our sugar. Best time to put the sugar in, right? Now, this is up to you, this part. It's basically how much you want to sweeten this. You don't have to use a lot of this. I use 2 tablespoons, but you don't have to use that much. You can use less if you feel that you want it sweeter. You could probably use a little bit more, but you know, you would have to go off of the serving size on your packaging. That will tell you, depending on what sweetener you're using. The other choice that I could use, I use Stevia as well, Skinny Girl Stevia. So if you have like a liquid sweetener that you like to use, you can use that as well. But this is what I'm going to use, okay? And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of it. That in the cup. Okay. All right. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is add my cocoa powder. Now, this is going to be up to you how much you like chocolate. Me, remember I said I don't like chocolate too much. If you want to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons, you can. I use 1 tablespoon and I still cut it. This chocolate, this cocoa, it's very, very chocolatey. So just be mindful of that. If you like things with that dark chocolate taste, you can go ahead and add a little bit more. I don't think you need to, because even with this to me, it's very chocolatey. But again, I don't like chocolate that much. If you like chocolate and you like that deep chocolate taste, you might go ahead and add an additional tablespoon of it. Okay, so we got that stuff going in there now, right? So now we're gonna add everything else in here, okay? Everything else that we have left. So we have our almond flour, and we need 2 tablespoons of this. So I'm just gonna rinse off these things so that we don't cross-contaminate. And just wipe those off. All right. So with this particular recipe, we're going to use more almond flour than coconut flour, okay? So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of almond flour. That's the almond flour. So just going to scoop that. All right, dump that in there. That's the almond flour. Okay, and we're going to move on to our coconut flour. We only need 2 teaspoons of the coconut flour. Okay, this is a teaspoon, and I'm going to do 2 of those. Okay, so 1 and 2. All right. Now we got our vanilla extract. And we need a 1/4 teaspoon for that one, okay? Just pour that, 1/4, that's it. And for our baking soda, we need a 1/2 teaspoon, or baking powder, excuse me, not baking soda, baking powder. And make sure, you know, at one point when I started using all these things, I had to realize that baking powder and baking soda are 2 different things. So just be mindful of that. Okay, baking powder, we only need 1/2 teaspoon. And this is a 1/2 teaspoon. All right. All right in there. Everything's going right in that cup. It's a mud cake. And we have our egg. Just gonna crack that. Put that right in there now. Sometimes I get a shell in there, so and I have to go dive in there for that shell. So just be careful how you crack your eggs. And the only reason I have down this little white paper towel on here is because the light was kind of glaring. And I didn't want that glare too much on you. So it's kind of how it starts to look, right? I'm going to just take a fork and mix all of that together. Look at that. Ooh, it's starting to shape up into something beautiful. And just mix, and you'll see there you have some stuff kind of, you know, stuck to the bottom or mixed up and clumped up, and you just want to kind of mix it. Mix, 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 mix until you get all that stuff from the bottom. See? Just keep mixing, mixing. Okay, that looks pretty good. Looks like a nice little cake batter just about, right? See that? Looks like a nice little cake batter. So remember I told you I don't like chocolate. Now I'll eat some milk chocolate now. Oh, white chocolate is my thing. I love me some white chocolate. I don't know why. It's just my taste. I just don't like coffee. I like things milky. And white chocolate to me is more milky. So I'm going to add, remember I told you I'm going to cut that chocolate. So for those of you that are like me, that you like chocolate, but you don't like that deep, deep dark chocolate, I'm going to cut that with some of this whipping cream. And I just kind of pour just a little bit in there. I don't really measure how much I pour. I just pour some in there to kind of break up that deep chocolate flavor that we have going on in there right now. Remember I told you that cocoa powder is a deep chocolate to me. It's not milk chocolate in any sense. And you see that kind of changed the color of it, sort of, so it looks more milky. Okay, so that was the hard part. Okay, so the hard part is over. Now this is the dessert I told you that it's divine to me. Really, really good, pleasing to the palate, and good fat bomb at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna get as much of that off the fork as I can because, yep, I want all of it. I want as much of it as I can get. I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, the last step is putting this in the microwave for about a minute and 15 seconds. That's it. Okay, A minute and 15 usually does it for me. Sometimes I'll do it for a minute, check it, and do it for another 5, 10, or whatever, but usually about a minute, depending on your microwave. So put a minute on there, and then if it comes out and it doesn't look as well done as you like it, put it in for a few more seconds. So now go ahead and drop this in for 1 minute, okay? Right back. All right, so this is after a minute. Right, see it rose up. Now it actually went all the way to the top. And when you do it, it'll look like it's coming out. It's going to come up out of the cup just a little bit. Don't worry about it. It's not going to spill over because it's caking. It's forming. So this I'm going to put in again. See, it looks just a teeny bit too, still kind of undone. I'm going to put it in for a few more seconds, okay? And if that happens to you, feel free to do the same. All right, but we want it to be like more of a cake consistency. So I'm going to put that in for a few more seconds. I actually did it for 30 more seconds, and I think that looks more the way I want to see it. See, I could see more towards the bottom of it. I'm not sure if you can see that. I could see more clearer to the bottom of it, and that's kind of what I want. So let's see what this wonderful chocolate thing looks like. And it smells great. All right, here we go. I just kind of use a spoon, and I'm just going to scoop it out of the cup. And actually, if you go around the edges, it'll pop right out. If you're good enough, it'll pop right out in one little mold. Look at that. And that, my friends, is a mug cake. I'm trying to find the top for you. That's the top. That's the top. That's your mug cake. Isn't that beautiful? It tastes even better. But me, I like to use this as a dessert, as I say. And another little thing, I'm a kid at heart. I love me some cake and ice cream. So my go-to is that Carb Smart Breyers ice cream. And what does it say? Part of a low-carb lifestyle. Now, the numbers may not be exactly excellent. And again, like I said, depending on what you're counting, how many numbers you're counting, the numbers are still better than regular ice cream, okay? So you can't beat that. If you don't want to give up your ice cream, you can still get away with some of this. It's 12 carbs, 12 grams of carbs, 3 sugars, and it has sugar alcohol in there, which is 5, okay? But those numbers are not bad at all, okay? So what I tend to do, and the serving size on this is a half cup. So you can get away with a good amount of that. All right, so put that with that. And people, you have yourself some cake and ice cream. That thing is good. All right, guys. Let me know how this was. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Very good fat bomb. Very good palate pleaser. And it won't hurt you. All right? See you soon. Take care.